Welcome back to our channel. My name is Sophie and I'm the co-founder of The Living House. We're an affordable online interior design company that design beautiful homes for families that are within their budget. Today I'm talking about 5 rules when designing your open plan room. Now, open plan rooms can be absolutely amazing and they work perfectly for families having a large open space that you can all use and is multifunctional. But they do come with some tricky layout issues and you want to create that flow and it can be hard to get right. After years of designing open plan rooms at The Living House, we're sharing with you 5 design rules we use when designing our customers' open plan rooms. Make sure you stick around for rule 3. It is not one to miss and I think is so important for open plan spaces. Decide on a layout first. Deciding on the layout is so important and a crucial step when you are designing your open plan room. You need to know where the furniture can go, if there's enough space, can you walk around it easily? Is it going to have all those functions you need in the room to work for you and your family? We always begin our design process by looking at the layout, and this can help further down the line because you don't want to make decisions at the beginning that are then going to affect your choices in the long run. This will also help with the electrical side of things, where the lights are going, especially plug sockets, because sometimes you can never have enough. When you get to the end of the build and then you're at the interior stage and you're like, oh, if only I had a plug socket there, I could put a floor lamp or a table lamp. When you're chilling on the sofa and you want to charge your phone, for instance, and not having a plug, this is where floor sockets are also something to consider when you're at the early stages of your open plan room. So always decide on a layout, look at various options. If you can, use masking tape on the floor. That will really help to get a sense of how big the furniture can be in the space too. Windows are so important in open plan spaces, and most open plan spaces that get designed today have large bifolding or sliding doors, and we are seeing lots more glass being put into open plan rooms. Now, this can look absolutely amazing from an architectural point of view, but from a design and practical point of view, it doesn't always work, and this is why. So if you have glass all the way around your, say, extension or your open plan room, that means that you're limiting the amount of wall space you have. So if you want to include built-in furniture or a TV because you've got a living area, but then there might not be anywhere to put the TV. So always consider when you're doing the layout whether a window is going to be the best there or you actually just need a wall space to be functional and perhaps put built-ins or a bookcase or, as I said, the TV. Next is that also having too much glass. If you are in the UK, you will understand what I mean by this, is that it can feel like a greenhouse. Now, we don't get much of a summer here, and when we do, it is usually a heat wave and we're complaining that it's too hot. So it can feel like a greenhouse, so just consider that. Of course, there is aircon, but that comes with expense too. Next is let light in from different angles. So I know I just said about having too much glass, but try and divide it up equally so you're getting light from not just the end of the room with bifolds, but also some windows or skylights or a sky lantern to really flood the room with light, because if it's dark and gloomy, it's not going to work with that open plan space that you're trying to achieve. And also, with that being said, windows are, when you want to dress them, they can be expensive. So consider this: if you've got large windows that you're putting in, big bifolding doors, curtains are going to be quite expensive and you may need to factor this into your budget, but also leaving enough room for the curtains to stack back. We see this a lot where the wall is one large bifolding doors or sliding doors, and then there's not enough room for the curtains to stack back either side. This can be a bit of a pain when you're deciding on curtains because they're going to block the natural light that's coming into the room, because when they're open, there's no room for them to stack back. So consider this when you're planning your windows in your room. Create zones in your open plan room. Open plan rooms are great because they're multifunctional, but the space needs to work hard and it needs to do so many things, from being a kitchen to a living room to a dining area to maybe a bit of a playroom for when you're cooking and the kids have got a toy area, even a working from home space now that we're putting in quite a lot of open plan spaces that we are designing. It's important to zone those areas, to have them defined so that it flows, but each area's got a purpose and it then looks well designed too. So here's a few ideas to how to define your areas in your open plan space. So one is a rug under a dining table. Make sure you go large. That really helps to define the dining area, along with lighting above, a pendant light. And also another idea, quite contemporary, is using slat partitions. So wooden slats that go from floor to ceiling, which will add height. This could create a bit of a divide, but you can see through them, so it's still keeping that open space feeling in the room. A console table or a sideboard behind a sofa with some table lamps on, this can really create that divide, but you can still see over it that it creates the open plan space as well. Without separating these zones, the room could feel a little bit cluttered, a bit flat, impractical, not so designed, not so interesting. So always create zones within the space. It's easy to achieve with things, as I said, like rugs, furniture, paint, wallpaper. It could be where you have the dining area, you've got a feature wall of wallpaper. It doesn't have to be a big feature wall, it can just be small. So always create zones in your open plan space. It really works and helps create a cohesive look. I hope you're enjoying this video and learning lots of tips for your open plan room. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video. Use the same flooring throughout your open plan room. This rule is very important, and if you use more than one type of flooring, it can feel disjointed and as if you're trying to create a room within a room, which defeats the object of it being open plan. Using the same flooring will unite those zones that you've created with the dining, the living room, the kitchen, and it will make it feel cohesive and flow. One thing to remember with flooring is the fitting can cost as much as the flooring product itself. So you need to manage those expectations because it can be a bit of a surprise. It happened with myself this week, even as an interior designer. There was more things to do than I thought in terms of what was underneath the floor. So that meant the fitting cost was more. So it's always something to factor in is the fitting, because you may need to choose a lower cost product to weigh it out and balance your budget. Never forget the lighting in your open plan room. Lighting can really make or break a room, and it is so important. You can use lighting to define areas within a space. So for instance, in an open plan room, your kitchen island, your living area, over the dining table, you can have a pendant, and make sure you don't go too small with your lighting. So if you have, for instance, 3 lights over the island, don't be afraid to go large with these. They'll make a statement, and if you go larger, it'll make the room feel bigger. If you go too small, it can actually look lost in the space and doesn't have that impact that you want to achieve. Also, when you're planning the layout, this is where lighting comes in, because if you know where your furniture placement's going to be and have a rough idea of that, then you'll know, okay, I need a plug socket here, I need lighting over this table, this is how many pendants I need over the island. So it's all important things to factor in when planning. So never forget lighting. You can never have enough, so you've got that cozy feel with the lamps and then that practical with the overhead lighting. I hope you've enjoyed learning all about the rules we use when we design open plan rooms. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel.